let's just dive right in. For those who don't know me, I'm Karen Dion, and I write psychological suspense that's set in Michigan's Upper Peninsula wilderness. I have two novels in that area, the Marsh King's Daughter and The Wicked Sister, and they were both international bestsellers. The books have been published in dozens of languages, and The Marsh King's Daughter is finally set to release as a major motion picture on November 3rd. Yay.
Congrats.
Katie and I have been saying for like years, it's coming soon, it's coming soon. Well, now it's actually here. So it will be exclusively in theaters in the US on the 3rd. Also, it is showing on September 28th in Brazil in theaters. And I have to admit, I was very tempted I looked, what's the price of tickets, right? to hop to Brazil and watch the movie on the 28th. But yeah, let's just say, no, I'm not going to Brazil. Also, I'll have to wait till November 3rd, like everybody else. Anyway, so that's me. Now we'll go on to introduce you to these wonderful authors. I'm going to do this alphabetically. So we start with Jeff Abbott. Jeff is the New York Times best-selling author of 21 novels of suspense and mystery. That just boggles my mind. His books have been summer reading picks by The Today Show and Good Morning America, USA Today, and the Oprah magazine. He's won the Agatha Award for Traditional Mystery Fiction and the Thriller Award. He is a 3-time nominee for the Edgar Award. He lives in Austin with his wife and sons. His latest Sam Capra novel, Trader's Dance, and you can hold it up now, Jeff, so everybody can see it. Trader's Dance comes out in paperback this Tuesday, so if you're a fan of paperback, those easy to carry around versions, look for that on Tuesday. The Washington Post says, those who enjoy unpredictable stories can never go wrong diving into the world of Jeff Abbott. And I thought that was an awesome summary of your whole body of work. We also have Sara DiVello. She is a true crime writer. In her prior corporate career, Sara spent 15 years building and running PR and marketing programs for large international corporations. She now speaks and teaches nationally on the topics of branding, social media, and publicity for authors. She's a good person to know. And is the creator and host of Mystery and Thriller Mavens, a popular author interview series and interactive Facebook group. Sara is also the director of social media strategy for the International Thriller Writers Association. In her spare time, assuming she's got some, Sara loves to teach yoga, cook and eat and garden, and go for leisurely walks with her husband and their beloved rescue mutt, Pilu. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Pilu.
Okay, Pilu. Sara's latest book, as she's holding up for us, is Broadway Butterfly, a thriller. This was an Entertainment Weekly most anticipated book, CBS New York Book Club pick, and it earned starred reviews from both Booklist and Library Journal. Library Journal says, this page-turner of a story with tentacles reaching from Broadway to the White House exposes the influence of money and power. Fans of true crime and true crime podcasts will be hooked. So you can learn more about her book and all of these authors' books in the breakout room. So we also have Angie Kim tonight. Angie moved as a preteen from Seoul, South Korea to the suburbs of Baltimore. After graduating from Interlochen Arts Academy, she studied philosophy at Stanford University and attended Harvard Law School, where she was an editor of the Harvard Law Review. Her debut novel, Miracle Creek, and everybody's heard of Miracle Creek, right? It won the Edgar Award, the ITW Thriller Award, the Strand Critics Award, and the Pinkley Prize, and was named one of the best books of the year by Time, the Washington Post, Kirkus, and the Today Show. Now, her next novel is out, Happiness Falls. It published August 29th. It's a New York Times bestseller and a Good Morning America book club pick. And I love this quote. This is by Jodi Picoult. Yeah, that Jodi. I read Happiness Falls in a single day. I can't remember a book with more layers. This is a nuanced story about bias, language, ableism, racism, and family dynamics. But above all else, this is a story with so many twists and turns. I was riveted through the last page. So congratulations, Angie, on that lovely quote. Wow. And then finally, we have Josh Moehling. I forgot to ask you, is that how you pronounce your last name, Moehling?
Yeah, Moehling.
Okay, excellent. You
Perfect.
know, usually a guy with whose last name starts with M isn't the last one on a list, but it just happened that way tonight, right? So Josh Moehling, he grew up as an Army brat and he moved all over the US and Germany. He attended college in South Dakota and Minnesota, and then he moved to Minneapolis and began a career in the medical device industry. Josh is the author of 2 thrillers. His first thriller, There He Kept Her, was an Amazon editor's pick and a Barnes & Noble monthly mystery thriller pick. And his newest, Where the Dead Sleep, that's your cue, hold it up for us, Where the Dead Sleep, just published on August 15. The New York Times said of Where the Dead Sleep, it's a well-paced whodunit that doubles as an evocation of Minnesota's small-town life in all its messy, dysfunctional glory. The real suspense emerges as Packard figures himself out, defying expectations in quiet, sometimes devastating ways. And the Associated Press says, Where the Dead Sleep sticks the landing. If you think you've got the mystery solved in the first few chapters, you're dead wrong. Moehling has some tricks up his sleeve. So congratulations on that wonderful reception for your work.
Thank you.
So you can tell why I'm smiling so much. We have these 4 amazing authors with us tonight, and we'll get to know them a little bit now when we play our game of 20-ish questions, but especially in the breakout room. You're just going to have so much fun tonight talking to them about their work and their books. So the reason we do the 20 questions is just to kind of give you a little sense of what authors are as a person. We have official backroom cards. See, you know, they say the backroom, they have questions on them. And I'm going to ask the questions in the order I see authors in the screen, which means Angie, you're up first.
Oh, okay.
I always start with the very hardest question to just get it out of the way.
Oh, no.
Is your desk messy or tidy?
Oh, you even warned us about this. My desk is so messy that I'm in a closet, and that's why I have this poster up so that you can't see the mess that this truly is. And I've like positioned my camera just so that you can't see it.
Yeah.
And that's how I want it.
I'm very tempted to have you do a pan of the room, but we'll let you have your illusion. We'll let you maintain it.
No.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've heard it said messy desk means an organized mind, so we'll go that route, right? Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Okay, Jeff, your question. What's the first thing you do when you get an idea for a book?
Write it down. Because I'm increasingly absent-minded as the years go on. But yeah, I do keep like a running notebook of thoughts and impressions and sometimes ideas for characters or situations. So I write it down.
Yeah, and do you know right away that it's going to be a good idea, or you just jot down everything?
I jot down everything, and a lot of it is garbage, not surprisingly, or it's just not an idea I want to spend time with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'll sound like, oh, initial flash, and it's like, no, I'm bored with you now. Idea, go away. Or I want to merge 2 ideas into one to make something newer. That sometimes happens. So.
That's cool. Yeah, nice you don't lose anything that way. Sara, you get the next question, and I think this, you know, like you're on, I'm assuming online all the time. So where do you write?
I write on a laptop, but I, like Jeff, I am a compulsive note taker. So I have 5 different notebooks for different things that I'm working on. So I have my ITW notebook, I have my ideas notebook, I have my workshops notebook, and then I have a notebook to keep track of all my notebooks.
That's a little bit scary.
Well, I'm here to scare you, right? Like that's what we have to do. We have to scare our fellow writers and readers.
There you go. Okay, that works then. You know, it definitely works. There's no doubt about it. So good for you. Josh, when do you feel the most creative?
When?
Yeah.
You know, what's funny is a lot of times I feel the most creative at the end of the day when I'm lying in bed away from the computer and not writing. And it's funny what comes to you as you're lying there trying to go to sleep, and the problem you've been working on that day, or the sentence that you couldn't quite get right suddenly comes to me a lot in bed. And like Jeff, I have to write it down or hope I still remember it in the morning.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you jump out of bed and go to the computer and write it down, or do you have a notebook right there?
There's a notebook right by the bed and a little light that I can turn on. So
Okay.
yeah.
So for aspiring writers who are listening in, it looks like the notebook is critical to tonight's team of authors. So make sure you have your notebook by your bed. The authors, at the end of 20 questions, we usually take a couple minutes and ask them for their book recommendations. They've prepared this. They've given thought to a book that they really enjoyed and they think everyone else would enjoy it too. So let's do this. Angie, please.
Yes. So I was initially gonna suggest Gabrielle Zevins tomorrow, but given that everybody in the world has read it like 4 times already, I decided to change to this lovely book by Jimin Han, The Apology. It came out in early August and it is so hilarious. I can't tell you. So, and it's like a tragic comedy. It's by Jimin Han, who is a lovely Korean American author. I just did an event with her. It's really fabulous. It was the Barnes and Noble Discover pick for August. It's really wonderful and just funny.
Thank you. You absolutely whet our appetite, no doubt about that. Jeff, what book are you recommending?
I am recommending Dark Corners of the Night by Meg Gardner. Meg is a fellow author who lives here in Austin. So Dark Corners of the Night is about I'm not going to do a plot summary, but it's about a serial killer in LA who targets families where he eliminates the parents but leaves the children alone. Which is a very sort of bizarre, intriguing psychological pattern for this person to be in. But this was one of those books. I was like, oh, I'm not going to read a serial killer novel, and then Meg always comes out with one of these, and then boom, 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 I've got to read it. It's incredibly.
Yeah, wow. Sounds like can't go wrong with a Meg Gardner book. Thank you. And Sara, your book recommendation, please.
Oh my gosh. So I am recommending The Leftover Woman by Jean Kwok. So this book comes out October 10th, and I think she's actually coming on The Back Room. It is so addictive. It is so good. So it is about 2 women. So the first is Jasmine, who is a Chinese woman in China whose child has been taken from her without her knowledge, against her will, and has been privately adopted to a white woman in the US who works in publishing. Fun plot twist. And Jasmine comes to the US in search of her daughter. And Janie's read it too. Yay! And so it is so addictive. It is so it is such a fascinating story, and I am very curious to see which of these 2 women you're cheering for. I am Team Jasmine, and I can't wait to hear what everyone thinks about this.
Josh, your recommendation tonight, please.
So I chose This Is How We End Things. You got a picture of it up there, by R.J. Jacobs. I thought this book just came out a couple of weeks ago. It goes great with fall. We just had the first day of fall. We're at back to school time, and this is kind of a dark academic thriller. It's got those vibes. It's got a bunch of graduate students kind of running a ethically questionable psychology experiment under the guise of under the watchful eye of kind of a enigmatic professor, and then people start dying, and they're all experts at lying, and RJ just does a fantastic job kicking this book off with a bang and then slowly revealing everybody's secrets and keeps you guessing about who the killer is all the way until the very end. So I thought it was a great book, and I really enjoyed it.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed this taste of what a backroom event is like. The best part comes immediately after, when the audience is divided into 4 breakout rooms and the authors visit each room in turn. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because these relaxed face-to-face conversations between authors and readers are the hallmark of our backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded. What's said in the back room stays in the back room.